the structural analysis part. This is the syllabus of GATE 2022, and particularly this comprises of statically determinate and indeterminate structure by force energy methods, method of superposition, analysis of process subject. So this is the syllabus. I'm not going deep into the syllabus, but structural analysis, you could see, we should start the structural analysis right from engineering mechanics. So whatever we have learned in engineering mechanics as a rigid body mechanics, we have learned the rigid body mechanics. Sorry. So what is rigid body? Rigid body is what if you apply the forces on the body, the distance between the any 2 points in the rigid body will remain as it is before, during, and after the application of it. This is the concept of rigid body. So we are not there to find the displacement and rotations in the rigid body.
Excuse me, sir. Very sorry to disturb you. Your volume is very less, sir. Students are writing on chat box. Can you please increase the volume, sir?
1 second.
And even your screen is half visible. So students are just...
Okay. Okay. Now, is this okay? My volume is okay now? Hello?
Yes, your volume is okay now, sir.
Okay. So there is little bit issue in the video. So I will mute my video. I will go with my presentation. Now, my presentations are okay, na? Okay. So this is the rigid body concept that we have learned in the engineering mechanics. And in the next year, you might have learned about the strength of material. Now, in the strength of material, we learned about the displacement in the structures. Displacement, I mean that displacement may be the linear displacement. Displacement may be the angular displacement. That we have learned in the strength of material. Just I will introduce about the journey of the structural analysis. There we have obtained the displacement rotations in the body, in the material. So specifically, we have studied the material there because the material is a very integral part, a very important part in the structural analysis. Without the study of material, the structural analysis is incomplete. So in the strength of material, we studied about the materials also, and we also slightly study about the how to obtain the displacement and what are the how to calculate the displacement after the application of the force, the stresses and all this, the strains and all this. So this is the strength of material. Then after you go in the next year, you studied about the theory of structure. So where you have learned to obtain the forces generated because of the external load. Forces generated in the members, maybe the axial force, maybe the shear force, maybe the torsion force, maybe the bending moment. So various forces generated because of the resistance offered by the material to the structure. And you also learned about the structures, various structures. Typically, the structure will start from the classification, that is the structure will start from the two-dimensional truss, right? So truss is the very basic structural element that we learn, though we have learned in the first year, but the very basic structural element is the truss. It is made up of a triangular shaped element. So because the triangular shape is the very basic and very fundamental and very stable geometry. So that's why we construct the truss in the triangular fashion. Okay. And also we have studied about the various supports, various constraints. So simple support, maybe they are mean support, maybe they are fixed support, maybe they are roller support or pin support. So these are the various supports and two-dimensional truss structure. Basically, the assumptions are very important, my dear friends, that you should know. So this is just introduction about the structural analysis. So assumption is what? The truss will carry only the axial force, right? The axial force may have two kind of nature, that is the tension and the compression, right? And the loads are acting on the nodes. Now here in the structural analysis, what happens? The loads are acting on the nodes, right? Here in the perfect truss, if you could see. But if you could see in the frame, the loads never act on the nodes. The load may act in between the nodes also. So, and whatever the structure analysis uses the result always there at the nodes. So whatever the forces, moments that we get in the structural analysis, from the structural analysis, we get at the nodes, nodal points, then we presume that if the moment is m1 and other moment is m2, then how the variation will be, that we are assuming the variation, and that we obtain the variation of the other moment, other shear force and all this. So this is basic fundamental of the structural analysis, is what we are obtaining the forces and moment at the nodes, right? So this is for the truss analysis, this is for the frame analysis, and then we go up much above that. We studied about 3D, three-dimensional trusses. We studied about the three-dimensional frames and all this. So this is the overview of structural analysis. Then why we analyze? The basic question is why we analyze. What is the basic aim of the analysis? So analysis will give us the forces in the members. So axial force, what I said, axial force, shear force, bending moment, torsion moment. So these are the various forces. Total, there are 6 different forces a member can carry. But it is not possible for us to calculate every time all the 6 forces. So this is what we assume that in a frame structure, the member, horizontal member, calling it a beam, vertical members we are calling as a column, and predominantly the beam will carry the shear force and the moment. So though there is axial force, we are not considering the axial force in the beam. But in the contrary, if you see the column, moments are there and axial force. So axial force is more predominant in the column. So that way we categorize the beam and the column in the discrete structure, or you can say skeleton structure, like a portal frame, 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional frame. So it is for our convenience. So although there are 6 forces in general, if you could see, there are 6 forces, different forces acting in the member. So we need to design the member. That's why there is a need to calculate the exact values of the 6 forces. I mean, the forces, I mean, it is not a force, axial force or shear force. The force, I mean, it's the bending moment also and the torsion moment also. If you know exact nature or exact amount of the axial force, shear force, bending moment, torsion moment, then it is possible to design accurately, economically, and also gives the serviceability, and the structure must be safe against any accidental load. So this is the motto of the structural analysis. Why we analyze? Because we need to obtain the forces in the members so that we can able to design them. Ultimately, our objective is to design. So next part will be equal to the structural analysis. The next part is the design of structure. Design of structure comprises of design of steel structure, design of RCC structure, design of stress concrete structure. So these are the various part of the structure. Maybe the timber structure, but in India, we rarely construct any timber structure. Okay, that is not an issue. It is not a part. So there are various structures also in the syllabus. If you could see the syllabus, analysis of trusses, arches, beams, cables, and the frames. So all this structural analysis is required for this syllabus. Then there are different methods of analysis: displacement method, slope deflection, moment distribution method, influence lines. So influence lines are very important while you design the bridge structure. When there is a moving load, there is a need to analyze the structure under the influence line, under the moving load, and because of the influence, it is possible to design the breach type structure. Then stiffness and the flexibility method of structural analysis, that may lead to the matrix method of analysis, that may further lead to the finite element analysis. So this is the overall journey of the structural analysis, structural design, and this part of the very important part, very crucial part of the civil engineering. Okay. So next is what the very first uh, mm, understand the degree of static indeterminacy and degrees of kinematic indeterminacy. These are two very important aspects whenever you start the structural analysis. Every time, whenever in every examination, maybe MPSC, UPSC, GATE examination, or any other entrance examination for any companies or any for interview, there is a one typical question that you have to undergo, that is the degree of static indeterminacy and degree of kinematic indeterminacy. My dear friend, it is a very simple to understand. Degree of static indeterminacy means total number of unknowns, total number of equilibrium equations. That gives you the value of ds. And if the ds value is 0, then you can say it is a determinate type of structure, right? When the ds value is less than 1, then you can say it is deficient structure, it is not a stable structure. ds is more than 1, then you can say that it's a redundant type of something is extra. That's why the number of unknowns are more than the number of equilibrium equations. So this is the ds. And degree of kinematic indeterminacy means dk is equal to degree of freedom. What is degree of freedom? So degree of freedom means, so how that, as we say, as we discussed, the nodes. The nodes means it is a junction of beam and the column. So how the node will displace in different fashion. So that describes by the degree of freedom. Degree of freedom का मतलब क्या है कि एक नोड कितने जगह मूव हो सकता है, right? If you consider the XYZ कार्टेशियन कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम, XYZ में कैसे होता है, देखिए कि लीनियर डिस्प्लेसमेंट होता है, देयर इज अ लीनियर डिस्प्लेसमेंट एंड एंगुलर डिस्प्लेसमेंट. एंड सीधी सी बात है, लीनियर डिस्प्लेसमेंट से फोर्सेस जनरेट होते हैं और एंगुलर डिस्प्लेसमेंट से मोमेंट जनरेट होता है, वाइस वर्सा. अभी कैसे देखो, एक्सियल फोर्स से डिस्प्लेसमेंट जनरेट होते हैं और डिस्प्लेसमेंट से एक्सियल फोर्सेस. There are two interchangeable quantities, displacement and the forces. Displacement mane, I'm not talking only the linear displacement. So there is a very general term, displacement is linear displacement and angular displacement. So linear displacement we will use the axial force and the shear force, whereas the angular displacement gives the bending moment and torsion. So displacement, it is the general word, comprises of linear displacement and the angular displacement. So degrees of freedom multiplied by total number of nodes minus the reaction. Why reaction? Because these are the constraints. So where the structure is not able to move in the particular direction, these are called constraints, or these are the reactions, because the support, because you cannot build the structure in the air. You have to support the structure. So there are different types of structures that you have studied. That is the simply supported, simple support, hinge support, fixed support, pin support. So there are various supports by which you can hold the structure. So there are also various types of supports also. The fixed support means the node where the fixity is there, the node is not allowing any structure to move in any direction. Also, it is not allowing the structure to rotate. There is rotation is not allowed. Angular linear displacement not allowed. Angular displacement also not allowed. But in the hinge support, but in the simple support, yes, the vertical displacement is not allowed. Horizontal displacement is allowed. Yes, there is the rotation is allowed. So there are different types of supports and different types of displacement which are allowed and which may be allowed or which may not be allowed. So there are, so in totality, in degrees of freedom, if you consider maximum possible kinematics, what are the kinematics? So if you consider Cartesian coordinate system, there are maximum, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा कितने हैं? UVW and theta x, theta y, theta z. UVW means what? There are three linear displacements. UVW in x, y, z direction. X, y, z में UVW है और rotations theta x, theta y, theta z. So UVW ये क्या करते हैं? These are developing, producing the axial forces and the shear forces. What are the theta x, theta y, theta z? These are producing the moments. These are producing the moments. So moment, vice versa, moment will also produce the rotations. forces will also produce the displacement. ये समझ में, ये आप अच्छी तरह से समझ लो. So degree of static indeterminacy means total number of unknowns minus total number of equilibrium equations. So equilibrium equations, what are the equilibrium equations? These are nothing but the Newton's second law of motion. What is Newton's second law of motion? Summation of F is equal to mass into the acceleration. When? What is summation of F? These are the unbalanced force in the system. Unbalanced force. So वो क्या करता है? That will produce the acceleration in the body. So that is directly proportional to the acceleration of the body, and this is directly proportional to acceleration. The force is equal to mass into acceleration. Similarly, the moment is equal to I into alpha. What is I? I is mass, moment of inertia, and alpha is what? Angular acceleration.
संकेत एकंदर तुरा
So this is the thing. This is
Sanket.
the equilibrium equations are generated. Equilibrium equations are generated by the Newton's second law of motion. Correct? So in plain 2D truss, so how we should generate the equation for ds and dk, right? So this is ds and dk. We should not follow the whatever the equation written in any kind of literature available. We should not follow any kind of equation that directly written in the literature. So we should generate our own values for ds and dk, right? So what is ds? So first of all, you should understand the ds. ds is what? The total number of unknowns. What are the total number of unknowns? The member force and the support reaction. These are the two basic reasons, basic you can say quantities that generates the unknowns, right? Minus total number of equilibrium equations. So member forces. What are the member forces? Force per member. How many forces there in the per member into number of members plus R. R means what? The support reaction. Minus number of equilibrium equation per node into the nodes. So this is the simple, right? ये ट्रस में क्या हो रहा है देखिए, ट्रस में है इसमें how many member forces? एक ही force है इसमें, ट्रस में एक ही force है. Which force? That is the axial force. So that's why I have written one. One is for force per member is only one. And how many members? That is m members. M members plus R. R means what? Total number of support reactions. These are, so one bracket is the total number of unknowns. Total number of unknowns means what? M plus R, right? And how many total number of equilibrium equation per node? How many equations? Only we are applying summation fx0 and summation fy0. These are the only two equations we applied per node. So हम कितने जितने भी nodes है उतने nodes multiplied by 2, that many equilibrium equation we can generate to solve the plane 2-dimensional truss, right? So minus 2 से 2 means what? What is 2? So ये आपको समझ में आना चाहिए कि 2 क्या है? 2 means summation fx0 and summation fy0. J means what? J means what? J is total number of nodes, right? 2j m plus r minus 2j समाप्त हो गया. ds मिल गया आपको इक्वेशन. m plus r minus 2j. m एक ये m है, एक खाली m नहीं है, ये 1m है. 1. Why 1? Because there is only one force in the truss member. दो नहीं है, आप गलती मत करना. Tension, compression, these are the natures. These are not the nature of the forces. These are not the forces. These are the nature of the forces. Tension and the compression. Only one force, that is the axial force. So that's why m plus r minus 2j. बस ये ds का इक्वेशन हो गया आपको ट्रस के लिए, बराबर. और डीके का इक्वेशन क्या है? नंबर ऑफ डिग्रीज ऑफ फ्रीडम. अभी कितने तरह से एक नोड मूव हो सकता है ट्रस मेंबर में. So number of degrees of freedom into nodes, right? Into nodes. No, sorry, number of degrees of freedom per node multiplied by number of nodes minus the support reaction, that will give the value of dk. So number of degrees of freedom कितने हैं? U and v. U and v, these are the total number of degrees of freedom per node multiplied by j. J means total number of nodes there. 2 multiplied by j minus r.
Sir, is there any difference between degree of freedom and degree of kinematic indeterminacy, or both are same?
No. Degrees of freedom is different and degree of kinematic indeterminacy is different. That's why degrees of freedom means what? A particular node, how many ways the particular node is moving. Means it is going to displace in u direction, v, w, theta x, theta y, theta z. But kinematic indeterminacy में total number of node multiplied by degrees of freedom minus the support reaction. Support में क्या हो रहा है भैया? ये देखिए ए एंड बी सपोर्ट है ना, ए एंड बी सपोर्ट these two supports are not allowing the structure to move, तो उसमें यहाँ पे काइनेमेटिक्स नहीं होने वाले, तो उसको हम डिलीट करेंगे सिंपल वे से 2j माइनस आर। तो डिफरेंस देखिए डीके का और डिग्रीज ऑफ फ्रीडम बहुत ही लंबा डिफरेंस है, देयर इज अ ह्यूज डिफरेंस इन डीके एंड द डिग्रीज ऑफ, समझ गए आप? डिग्रीज ऑफ फ्रीडम
Yes.
मींस एक नोड कितनी तरह से उसमें काइनेमेटिक्स करते हैं, बराबर है। और उसको डीके क्या है, उसका डिग्री है, तो नंबर ऑफ डिग्रीज ऑफ फ्रीडम पर नोड इनटू नोड माइनस सपोर्ट रिएक्शन वो क्या कर रहा है, उसको हिलने के लिए नहीं अलाउ कर रहा है। तो जब हिलने के लिए नहीं अलाउ कर रहा है तो उसको थीटा नहीं है, आर डिस्प्लेसमेंट नहीं है, तो उसको हम माइनस करके वो उसको हम डीके बोलते हैं। समझ में आएगा ये बात आपको?
Yes.
Is it clear all of you? Okay, the next structure is a beam structure. So again, we will just see beam structure में क्या है, देखिए number of equilibrium equation core node क्या है, इसमें हम axial force भी पहले ले रहे, लेकिन axial force बहुत ही कम है, इसीलिए हम कभी-कभी axial force neglect भी करते हैं बीम में, लेकिन लेते हैं एक सेफर साइड के लिए लेते हैं axial force, बाद में हम neglecting the axial force ऐसे भी बोल के निकाल सकते हैं, ठीक है। Fx0, Fy0 and bending moment 0. So these are the three equilibrium equations per node for the beam. तो यहाँ पे पहले ट्रस्ट में क्या हो रहा है, Fx0, Fy0, these are the two only equilibrium equations there, but in addition to that the m is equal to 0. So 3 equations of equilibrium per node will be there. And how many degrees of freedom per node? देखिए u, this is responsible for the axial force, v, this is responsible for the shear force, and z, which is responsible for the moment. So how many degrees of freedom per node? There are 3 degrees of freedom per node will be there, right? How many forces in the member? अभी फोर्सेस देखो, ये सब आपको मालूम होना चाहिए कि बीम में कितने फोर्सेस है। बीम में एक्सियल फोर्स है, शियर फोर्स है, बेंडिंग मोमेंट, 3 फोर्सेस है इसमें। ट्रस में एक था भैया, देखिए इसमें आप डिफरेंशिएट कीजिए पूरी तरीके से कि बीम में कितने फोर्सेस है, 3 फोर्सेस। ट्रस में कितने, एक ही फोर्सेस, एक्सियल फोर्स। बीम में एक्सियल है, शियर है, मोमेंट है, 3 फोर्सेस है। तो डीएस निकालने, इक्वेशन का डीएस निकालने में क्या करेंगे, मेंबर फोर्सेस पर सपोर्ट रिएक्शन टोटल अननोन में से टोटल नंबर ऑफ इक्विलिब्रियम इक्वेशन डिडक्ट कीजिए तो डीएस मिलता है। तो फोर्सेस पर मेंबर मल्टीप्लाइड बाय नंबर ऑफ मेंबर प्लस आर मींस व्हाट, द सपोर्ट रिएक्शन इन द स्ट्रक्चर, माइनस नंबर ऑफ इक्विलिब्रियम इक्वेशन पर नोड इनटू द नोड। तो कितने फोर्सेस है बीम में, 3 into m plus r, this is 3m plus r, this is nothing but the total number of unknowns in the beam minus 3j क्या है, what is 3, number of equilibrium equation, summation fx, summation fy and m0, तो minus 3j। so हमारा इक्वेशन क्या बनता है, 3m plus r minus 3j, राइट। इसमें अभी देखिए एक्सियल डिफॉर्मेशन निग्लेक्ट किया तो बस आपको वहां से माइनस नंबर ऑफ मेंबर्स, जितने भी मेंबर्स है वो बस आपको डिडक्ट करना है, इसको आपको डीएस मिल जाएगा। तो डीएस कैसे फॉर्मुलेट होता है ये पता, ये आप ध्यान से देखिए, बाद में आपको किसी भी तरह का तो कुछ भी लिटरेचर पढ़ने की जरूरत, आप अपना खुद का डीएस का इक्वेशन तैयार करके